What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Lewis of Tech. Today we are doing something a little different. I went on eBay. I was just browsing, right? Late night, nothing to do. And I found this listing, a Fujitsu system unit, i5-6500, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gig SSD, Windows 11 Pro. $250. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Lewis. I do tech, gaming, and everything in between right here on Lewis of Tech. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming. Let's get into it. So let me walk you through how I found this thing. I'm on eBay searching desktop PC, filtering by price, lowest first obviously, and you just see a sea of garbage. Like seriously, some of these listings, but then I filter a little tighter. I want at least 8 gigs of RAM, preferably an SSD, and something with a 6th or 7th gen Intel inside. Budget under $300. And then I see it. Fujitsu Esprimo, i5-6500, 16 gigs, 500 gig SSD, Windows 11 Pro already installed, $250. And the seller had like 98% positive feedback, so that's always a good sign. Now, here's the thing. The listing said system unit only. No monitor, no keyboard, no mouse, just the tower. And the photos were pretty standard, just the outside of the case. No mention of a GPU, which honestly I expected. Most of these ex-office machines run on integrated graphics, but I figured, worst case, I got a solid little home PC or a work machine. I've seen people game on integrated before, so I hit buy. And then I waited. Alright, it's here. Came in about 4 days, which is decent. So this is the Fujitsu Esprimo. It's a small form factor, actually pretty compact. Looks like any normal office PC from the outside. Clean, professional. It's got the usual front panel, power button, USB 2.0 ports, headphone jack. Back panel we've got USB 3.0, a couple USB 2.0s, DisplayPort, VGA, and wait. Guys, do you see what I see? There are extra display outputs on here that are not part of the standard motherboard I/O. There's an HDMI port and a DVI port that shouldn't be there on integrated graphics. There's a card in here. There is actually a GPU in this PC. I didn't know this. This was not in the listing. Oh my. Guys, that is a Radeon RX 570. That is a dedicated GPU. In a $250 eBay PC. I genuinely did not expect this. The RX 570, for those who don't know, this is AMD's Polaris architecture card. It's got 4 or 8 gigs of GDDR5 memory. It was a solid 1080p gaming card back in the day, and this was not listed at all. So either the seller forgot it was in there, didn't know what it was, or they just didn't care. Whatever the reason, I just won the eBay lottery. Let me pull it out so we can get a good look at it. Yeah, this is a Sapphire Pulse RX 570, 4 gig variant, 2 fans. A little dusty, we're gonna clean that up, but it looks fine. No visible damage, no bent pins. This card alone goes for like $50 to $80 secondhand right now. So honestly, that alone makes this deal even sweeter. Alright, so now let me go through everything properly. Here's the full spec list. CPU, Intel Core i5-6500, 4 cores/4 threads, 3.2 GHz to 3.6 GHz, RAM, 16 GB, DDR4, storage, 500 GB SSD, GPU, AMD, Radeon RX 570, OS, Windows 11 Pro, price paid, $250 on eBay. CPU, Intel Core i5-6500, 4 cores, 4 threads, base clock of 3.2 GHz, boost up to 3.6 GHz, 6th gen Skylake. Still a perfectly capable processor for everyday use and light gaming. Don't sleep on it. RAM, 16 gigs of DDR4. This is great. Most office machines come with 8, so getting 16 out of the box is solid. No upgrades needed here. Storage, 500 gig SSD. It's actually a decent branded SSD in there, not some no-name unit. Boot times are fast. We'll see how that plays out when we load up Windows. GPU, Radeon RX 570, 4 GB. Already talked about it. This is the star of the show today. And the OS, Windows 11 Pro. Activated, licensed, ready to go, no extra cost. Power supply looks like it's a stock Fujitsu unit. probably around 250 to 280 watts. Honestly, a little tight for the RX 570, but we'll see how it holds up. Fingers crossed. Giving it a little clean before we boot. Old habits. All right, let's plug this thing in. Moment of truth. Let's go. She's alive. First try. Okay, so Windows 11 Pro, it's already set up. There's a generic user account, nothing sketchy. I do a full reset just to be safe, get a clean install under my own account, and now we're working with a fresh system. First thing, drivers. I installed the latest AMD Adrenalin drivers for the RX 570. Then I checked Device Manager, everything looks clean, no conflicts. GPU-Z confirms it. Sapphire Radeon RX 570 4GB GDDR5, running on PCIe 3.0 by 16. Beautiful. CPU-Z confirms the i5 6500, all 4 cores present. Memory, 16 gigs in dual channel. Perfect. Temps at idle, CPU is sitting at about 35 degrees, GPU around 38. That's very respectable. Alright, enough numbers on a screen. Let's play some games. For the real people, the real test. Let's go. First up, Fortnite. Look, I know some people clown on Fortnite, but it is the benchmark game for budget PCs. Everyone knows it, everyone plays it, and it's actually pretty demanding if you push the settings up. I'm testing at 1080p, that's what most of you are gaming at if you're on a budget setup like this. First run, 1080p, medium quality preset. Let's see what we get. We're sitting at 55 to 70 frames per second in medium. During build fights and big zones, it dips a little, but it's holding up. Playable? Absolutely. Competitive? You can work with this. Now let me switch to performance mode. This is Epic's own low spec mode that drops a lot of visual fidelity but pushes frames significantly higher. Performance mode at 1080p, and now we're talking. 85 to 100 frames per second, occasionally spiking higher in quieter areas. This is genuinely smooth. The game feels responsive. Input lag feels tight. Fortnite 1080p performance mode, approximately 85 to 100 frames per second. Fortnite 1080p medium quality, approximately 55 to 70 frames per second. Resident Evil Requiem 1080p medium settings, approximately 45 to 60 frames per second. Now look, the i5 6500 is 4 cores, no hyperthreading. Fortnite does like more cores if you can give it them, but with the RX 570 pulling weight on the GPU side, the experience is actually really good. If you're a Fortnite player on a budget, this combo works, full stop. Alright, now for something a little heavier, Resident Evil Requiem. This is a newer title, more graphically demanding, and this is where we're really going to push the RX 570 and see what it's made of. 1080p, medium settings. Let's go. So out of the gate, we're getting 45 to 60 FPS on medium. In cutscene heavy areas, we're sitting more consistently at 55 to 60. When it gets more action heavy, especially in outdoor areas with a lot of shadow rendering, we can dip down to 40 to 45. Not buttery smooth, but it's playable. And the game still looks good on these settings. You're not missing much visually compared to high. Let me drop it to low settings and see how much we can recover. Low settings. Now we're at 65 to 75 frames per second consistently, much more stable. And honestly, Resident Evil Requiem still looks pretty decent on low. The lighting and texture work holds up enough to enjoy the atmosphere. For horror gaming, you want smooth frames. Jump scare stutters are not the vibe. And on low at 1080p, this thing delivers a stable experience. Very impressed. GPU temps during RE Requiem peaked at about 78 degrees Celsius. That's within spec for the RX 570. The fan was audible but not obnoxiously loud. The power supply held steady, no crashes, no throttling. That was my biggest worry and it came through. Value for money, 10 out of 10. Gaming performance, 7.5 out of 10. Productivity, 9 out of 10. Thermals and noise, 8 out of 10. Upgradability, 6 out of 10. Overall score, 8 out of 10. $250 and you're getting 16 gigs of RAM, an SSD, Windows 11 Pro, and an RX 570 that wasn't even listed. That's insane value. Gaming performance. I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. The RX 570 is a solid 1080p card even in 2025, especially for older and mid-tier titles. Newer AA games are going to struggle at high settings, but you can make them work on medium to low. Productivity, 9 out of 10. 16 gigs of RAM, an SSD, and Windows 11 Pro. This is a fantastic work from home machine. Web browsing, office, light video editing, coding, no problem. Thermals and noise, 8 out of 10. Temp stayed in a safe range throughout testing. The fan noise is there under load, but it's not annoying. Stock cooling is doing its job. Upgradability, 6 out of 10. This is the trade-off with small form factor office PCs. The power supply is limited, so putting in a more powerful GPU is risky without upgrading the PSU too. And the PSU in these things is sometimes a proprietary size, so you're a bit boxed in. Overall, 8 out of 10. This is a genuinely great deal and a surprisingly capable machine. So, should you buy a $250 eBay PC? Here's my honest take. If you shop smart, look for the specs I mentioned, filter by sellers with high feedback, and know what to look for, you can find incredible value on eBay. Not every listing is going to have a secret RX 570 inside, but the base machine alone, the i5 6500, 16 gigs, 500 gig SSD, Windows 11 Pro, that's a solid deal at $250 without any GPU at all. The fact that I lucked out with the RX 570, that just elevated this from a solid budget PC to an actually capable budget gaming machine, and I love to see it. If you want to see me do more eBay PC hunting, or if you want me to do a full upgrade video on this machine, maybe swap in a better GPU or add some more storage, let me know in the comments. I read every single one. $250 people, $250. Let that marinate. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel more than you know. Subscribe if you're new. I drop tech and gaming content regularly right here on Lewis of Tech. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.
He's dead. Infected. What the hell was that thing? Oh my god. This looks important. Maybe. this way, not this way, not this way. Yes. It can't hurt to pick some, I guess.
Mr. Kennedy, welcome. Dr. Gideon has been expecting you.
Funny. I don't remember getting an invitation.
Well, he's waiting for you.
Can't have that, can we?
Follow me, please.
Lead the way. So how long have you worked?